back to Malnova Chronicles Origin Stories. Today we'll be taking on the adventure of talking through Aerodar, the Sumerian elf monk, and his backstory. We'll be joined by Nolan, who is the player and creator of Aerodar, and I hope you guys have fun. All right, enjoy. All right, well, let's hit the backstory to Aerodar. Where do you want to start? Maybe the culture of Sumerian elves.
Sure.
How do you see it?
So I'll just kind of read off what I have in the description here. I think it covers most of it. So the Sumerian elves live by the rule of last strike, battling the elements near the summits of the Mythral Mountains. The Sumerian elves are a nomadic elven race. They are also descendants of Aelgro, the elf prince of the Tavern Coast. After he killed Traxeldon, the Great Worm, the elven tribes split. Some went south to Tavarnos, and some stayed as a nomadic tribe. The elves that stayed in the mountains became the Sumarians. They are masters of stealth and of the hunt. Their skin blends in with the snow of the mountains, and they can move with the winds. They are sworn enemies of the Goliath tribes that have made their homes in the Mythral Mountains in the centuries past. This is due to the scarce resources near the top of the mountains, the law of first blood versus the rule of last strike. So sometime in the 30s AGW, settlers from Tavris and Hardbar resettled the ruins of Phandelver, which became a frontier settlement of farmers and prospectors looking for wealth in the Mythral Mountains. This resurgence of humanoids in the region forced the goblins and orcs that were residing in Phandelver to retreat back into the Mythral Mountains. The overwhelming number of goblinoids made life very difficult for the Sumarians, who tend to travel in smaller groups and could fall prey to the swarms of goblins. In a historic pact, the Sumarians and their bitter rivals, the Goliaths, formed a coalition to deal with the invasive species. Both factions were to strike the goblin stronghold of Cragmaw Castle. When the morning of the great battle arrived, the Sumarians began their assault, but the Goliaths never showed. The mountain elves were slaughtered without the assistance of the high-altitude rivals. Some Sumerians were able to escape, but most were killed, and only a few were captured. The Goliaths figured it was better to have their enemies fight each other and gain dominance over the region for themselves. So Aerodar Suregrip, is a slender Sumerian. He's about 5.5 feet tall, weighing 130 pounds. He has pale blue skin with white tribal tattoos. Aerodar was a prodigy rock climber as a kid, scaling the most difficult and treacherous of mountains with simply his hands and a length of rope. Despite his slender frame, decades of scaling mountains have made him quite strong and extremely agile. His naturally oversized hands gave him the capability to climb unlike any other. Aerodar's sheer upper body strength combined with his natural agility and stealth has made him a lethal assassin in hand-to-hand combat. And with no formal training, Aerodar's martial arts style is quite unorthodox. The mountains are his monastery, and the constant threat of death his master.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
You added to that, eh?
Yeah.
Nice.
That last paragraph I hadn't
ties it
shown
all
you
up
when we
though.
were first. Yeah, totally. And so like what's very distinct about Aerodar is his massive fists. So
his monkey hands.
Yeah, so like the subclass for that I went with for Aerodar. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up here. It's called Way of the Living Weapon. So basically it just like enhances your unarmed strikes. So it gives you a few different things like that you can choose between in the subclass. So one of them that I went with increases my reach. So it's basically like I have like stretch arms, large
Stretch
fucking
arm,
ape arms.
Armstrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now they're like always long though, right? You don't like grow them for an attack.
No.
They don't like
Yeah, it's just
so you just have
it says my reach is 10 feet, but just for like flavoring, I have like crazy long arms.
So you just
like
have
orangutan.
Yeah, I was gonna say not proportioned arms for your body.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Cool. And you're a monk though. You also get lucky, which is
so
drives me batshit sometimes.
Yeah, because we homebrewed the race
Shit.
a little bit.
20.
So there was a homebrew race called the Core from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what this is, and we kind of flavored it to the story of Malnova, so that they were the Sumerian elves, so just a homebrewed race of elves. So like they have the lucky feet and the brave feet. It's basically like halflings.
Totally.
but just with a couple of different stuff. But for the most part, they're almost identical to halflings
I think it's
in their racial
pretty.
stats.
It's not like overpowered class or even race. I don't think. I think it's pretty balanced.
It's pretty much the same. I knew I wanted to play a monk because I really enjoy
It's just got
classes that have a bonus action where you can always do something. It's like monk.
got unreal synergy too with the Stretch Armstrong hands
Yeah,
with the empowered key and
exactly. So yeah, once I picked monk, and then I was just kind of trying to decide a race that I thought would be cool with that, and just like came across this, and we just happened to be in the right region for it too. The story was right by the Mythral Mountains when I needed a new character.
exactly.
So
Yeah, exactly. After Babar passed away. Rest in
R.I.P.
peace. Yeah.
Yeah,
um,
good guy.
so what is the law of first blood and last strike?
So the is it the
Or is
law of first blood or the rule of first blood?
rule of first blood, sorry.
Got it here. Yeah, so the rule of first blood is when hunting, or just fighting in general, the first person to strike a beast or person has claim to it once it's dead. Whereas in comparison, the rule of last strike is the last person to hit it and to get the killing blow has claim to it.
And so the
So we came
Goliaths
across,
believe in first strike, and
yeah,
then Sumerian elves believe in last blow. Is it last blow or last
last
strike?
strike,
Last strike.
last
Yeah,
strike.
first strike.
Yeah,
First
first blood
blood
versus
versus
last
last
strike.
strike. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you guys hate each other.
We came across the were they like the Freedom Eagles or whatever that traveling band of hunters was called?
Magnificent
The Meg.
Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So that's kind of, it was just a little bit of an inside joke that stemmed off of that.
And now it's canon.
Yeah.
How most
Yeah, exactly.
D&D campaigns work, I think.
Yeah, totally.
So he's pretty much grown up around the Mythral Mountains. Like he knows. Does he know the whole area of the mountains well, or is it like just that area, kind of from where the Mythral Mountains are here to where the party is, pretty much?
Yeah, not the entirety of the Mythral Mountains for sure, but just kind of like the area surrounding where we are now, like kind of Fendelver to Wave Echo Cave to Cragmaw Castle. Like that's kind of been his ancestral home.
Yeah. So
So
before you guys, like, before you made the deal with the Goliaths to attack Cragmaw, they were, you guys would fight each other, right?
yeah, exactly. So the Sumarians and the Goliaths had to fight each other for resources, which are already like so scarce on the Mythral Mountains, just being like
At the top
totally
of the mountain.
barren.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Covered in snow, pretty barren. Like not a lot of wildlife or vegetables or anything. You've got to have to be
Fairly
pretty nomadic.
meat-based diet,
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
yeah, totally. And so because of that, like Sumerian elves rarely live past 200 years, which is
I mean,
very rare.
it's
Like
still long, but like for
yeah,
elves,
for
that's not long. That's a blink of an eye.
yeah, relatively it's pretty
Normally,
short when
yeah.
you have elves that can live like up to 1,000 years
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a pretty treacherous and hard lifestyle. So people tend to succumb to natural causes a lot earlier than they're supposed to.
So how many people are in your tribe before you got
About
captured?
There's about 20 in my tribe. Like they tend to keep pretty small again because of the resources.
Mm-hmm.
There's other Sumerian tribes that kind of go around the area that they're friendly with, and they did team up with some other Sumerians for the
Raid?
assault on
Yeah, the
Cragmaw
assault.
Castle. Yeah, but with his like immediate tribe was only about 20 people.
So how many of your tribe got killed?
I don't know actually. Like
Alright.
the majority of
How
them
many
got
attacked?
killed.
Sorry, how many attacked Cragmaw?
Attacked about 100.
Out of your tribe, though?
Oh, all out of my tribe, 10 maybe.
Okay, so there's at least half of them were still alive.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
hopefully. Yeah, but when I got, so that's how I met the party and was introduced to the party, is that I was one of the few that were captured. So the majority were killed, some were captured, some managed to escape the battlefield. But the way I was introduced to the party is I was caught and captured in Cragmaw Castle and being held there when two of the original party members were transferred up. I guess they were sold into slavery to the goblins and
So
transferred to
they were
Cragmaw
pretty much
Castle.
given to the goblins as a gift for helping out with the red brands.
Right.
So they were like, do with them what you will.
Hmm.
And
And then,
they were gonna send you up north to be slaves in
yeah,
the mountain mines, where they're from actually originally. But uh, so you're you have a cousin that was kind of like your rival almost.
yeah, like it was like a friendly rivalry, like we're cousins and like you love your cousin kind of thing, but you also had this sort of friendly competition
You were
between
kind
each
of
other.
next in line for.
Yeah. So I was like, I wasn't officially the leader of the clan, but like most of the responsibilities fell onto me.
Yeah.
And so basically, what it had come down to is that, due to the treacherous conditions and the lack of nutrition and my kin not living for as long as most of them should, my parents, succumbed to the same fate. Um, I heard that like my ancestors and living relatives lived to be nearly 1,000 years old. So why couldn't we have that same lifestyle? And after with competing for the Goliaths had began to increase and the newly invasive goblins and orcs had moved in, I wanted to plan moving the Sumerian elves' ancestral home somewhere where there'd be bountiful resources and where my people could grow old and prosper. And so my cousin Sanheim, which I didn't know at the time, greatly opposed this idea. And so he had the idea that the Mythral Mountains had always been the the home of the Sumerian elves, and he wouldn't allow them to surrender and retreat from our ancestral residence. So Sanheim approached me with the proposition, saying that we would join forces with the Goliaths to rid the mountains of the invasive goblins, and we could continue to live here. Um, After which, the us and the Goliaths would work towards a more peaceful existence. So Sanheim brokered the alliance on behalf of us, on behalf of the Sumarian, and the plan was set in motion. But in reality, Sanheim never put this deal into place. He, and along with a group of his devout followers, had made a deal with the Goliath clan and to assert their dominance over the Mythral Mountains. So the Goliaths sent us into a slaughter, while also weakening the Cragmaw goblins in this fight, so that they could remain king of the mountain. And so most of the Sumarian loyal to me were either killed or captured, and you know the group that remained loyal to Sanheim never arrived to the battle. And I
So you
assume,
figured it out at the battle.
yeah,
Has
exactly. When
Aerodar put it together yet?
I think has suspicions for sure. Like when he didn't see Sanheim at the battle anywhere. Like normally he would be by his side. Um, but when he didn't show up, he's definitely suspicious. But
Yeah.
hasn't kind of divulged that information to anybody in the party yet because it's still kind of sensitive.
And honestly, you've only known each other for a week or two,
Yeah,
even after the
exactly.
escape from Cragmog Castle.
It's been a very short time still.
What the hell does he feel about all the shit that's happened in the
It's
the
been, yeah, it's been a
PTSD,
tough week or two. It's just like used to kind of being the king in the mountains, like leader
hunting, and
of his tribe. Yeah, just kind of always used to like
it's not cushy, but it's
being,
cushier than
yeah, than it has been,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, and just like used to kind of the constant adrenaline and fun of rock climbing, whereas this, like, it's adrenaline but just danger in a sense. So we've been just kind of on the run for the
Fight or
last
flight.
week, two
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah, just constantly under the threat of danger.
So you guys
Like,
have fought tainted nymphs, devils,
yeah.
uh,
I knew two people in the
archmages
party
with
for like about 2 or 3 days, and
Lich
they died.
Nagas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks.
What else? You fought why can't I think of the lion dragon with spine
Oh,
tail?
yeah. Sorry, I know what you're talking about. I can never remember the name.
Manticore,
Manticore. Yep.
and an Umber
The Knoll
Hulk
pack.
and Knoll Pack. Fuck. Yeah, you guys need like a little R&R.
You need some serious downtime.
So that's your 3 days of downtime hiding out in the basement of Tresender Manor
Yeah.
till we
Yeah,
pick up
exactly.
next time.
Yeah. So I guess with, it's kind of been a tough couple of weeks, like starting with the Cragmaw Castle not going as you would have hoped. And then when we were in the Manticore lair in the mines, losing a couple of party members, and then in the most recent session, kind of picking between what we thought was the lesser of two, or the greater of two evils, I guess I should say, and trying to take that one out first, and making a deal with the devil, and then our efforts really being for nothing other than we took out Crawl, the Death Turtle,
The Death
and so
Turtle did die, but he is a
yeah,
Death Turtle to the
yeah,
who's a cleric of like the god of death pretty much. So
yeah.
who knows with that.
So it's definitely been a week or two of a lot of losses. Like we've had a couple of small victories here or there, but for the most part, things have not gone the way that we would have liked to.
Yeah, you
And
guys
so
could
it's
use a
definitely,
win.
yeah, it's starting to wear on him too. He's starting to become unhinged a little bit. Like when we were exploring the basement of Tressendar Manor, it was just kind of gotten to a point where like anything I come across, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of. Like
Not to mention
no
the
no hold back.
possessed children that you were just like breaking necks.
Hey, they were stabbing the
You know
paladin. I
what?
don't
Yeah,
know.
to be fair, you came around the corner and saw like 5 children stabbing a paladin with like all of them had black eyes. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They would have
yeah.
no way of knowing if they're able to be exercised
Exercised.
as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
I mean
exactly.
now you do because you've seen Ebert do it. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the Sumerians are nomadic. Do you know
Hmm.
where you're gonna look for them?
I not sure at this point. This is assuming we can kind of go and collect any of the ones that have been captured or able to survive and are hiding in the mountains somewhere. If we're able to find them and first,
Tell
and
me.
if so, then it's just moving them somewhere like maybe out of the mountains even, but still close by, because that's all we've known for thousands of years. But just somewhere that has some more resources, somewhere that my people can thrive and grow old and reach the same
You don't have to
lifespan as
worry
their
about.
relatives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not just constantly worried about the threat of like starvation and or death, or falling off a mountain, like that kind of stuff.
So would they move out of the mountains? That's the real question.
Potentially, yeah. Most, like a lot of the people were on board. um I'd say at least half were on board with the idea. Like
Find a
most
new
people had gotten fed up.
new
Just a
place.
few. Yeah, it was just Sanheim and a few of his more devout followers that didn't believe we should do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder where you go.
Hmm.
Even if you do save them and move them, like what the hell are you guys gonna do next?
Yeah.
It's really.
Yeah,
But
I
that's D and
doubt.
D in a nutshell, I guess, right?
Exactly, yeah. Maybe Phandalin would be a good place to settle them. There's a lot of free real estate right now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you guys are down. You guys are in Tresender Manor. Like, you, you could use a home base almost. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
your
We
people are now your
settled the Sumarian there. We'd be
new
welcome in
townsfolk. Yeah,
Phandalin whenever.
exactly.
Hmm.
But there is still the Cragmaw goblins.
Yeah,
Uthik's not doing too bad though. And they're pretty close, so maybe you could. Maybe it's far enough away.
that's true.
Who knows? Cool. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that we should nail down really
Um,
about Aerodar?
I guess
What's his
Aerodar.
goals other
Yeah,
than You said
Yeah,
he
it's
once he
sorry. Go ahead.
settles his people, he wants
Hmm.
to go and
Yeah, so I think
fine tune his martial prowess.
totally. Yeah, so once after settling down, like kind of seeing how tedious and mundane and normal life is, he'll probably crave the thrill of adrenaline and danger. And so after how helpless he felt in the moment where his people were slaughtered, and over the past couple weeks, just these moments where he just felt like he couldn't do, even though he's doing everything he could, he still just felt useless in those situations. So wanting to go on this journey to acquire knowledge, skills, new powers, new magic items, so that he doesn't have to feel that way ever again, by seeking out different monk masters across the world that can
Different
teach him
martial
new things,
arts.
and
Yeah.
yeah, create his own martial arts style, since it's so unique. Like, it doesn't really fit into
Right.
one typical martial arts style, just because it's mainly based off of his gorilla arms and like massive fists that he's able to shape into different forms, so that he can do the bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing.
And
So
like
most of the time he's like has his knuckles in a
electric
sharp formation. Yeah,
electric
and like can
fingers, like
exactly. Yeah, so just kind of doing one of that, and then maybe he'll, in his older age, be able to start a monastery and be able to to teach his own monastic tradition.
well, there's different monk styles all around Mount Nova, so that's definitely something that can happen.
Yeah, we've got some more pressing things probably right
Yeah,
now, but
exactly.
once
Who knows?
maybe once Felix isn't doesn't have his soul bound to somebody else, we can look into something like that.
Yeah, Ruby kind of. I don't know if she tricked you. She was pretty honest and upfront about everything.
Yeah, so far it seemed like a pretty fair deal.
You got a couple months to kill this guy, or your soul's mine. And what did she give you guys? She let you. She brought a traveling salesman to you,
Yeah,
and took that soul stone off your hands.
that's right. She also said that she would help take out some of the background people
If you
around
guys ended
the
up
devil.
fighting, yeah.
Yeah, so that probably doesn't apply if it's somewhere else,
Who
but
knows?
maybe we'll see. We might see her again.
I'm guessing you'll probably end up seeing her again. She
She might
may be a
offer us another deal.
reoccurring. Yeah, she might be a recurring character. We'll
Yeah,
see.
totally.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Well, good talk, I guess. And
Yeah, that's everything I kind of had written down. Everything I had prepared.
yeah, I think that's everything I really need to plan the next few sessions. So hopefully it
Awesome.
goes fairly smooth. I think Mike's gonna be
Yeah.
doing his for the next maybe week or two. I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't worked it out, but it gives me time to prep everything. So that's good.
I still think we should have gone as the airship pirates. I was really down for
You
that
know what?
storyline.
You guys probably could have persuaded him to take you to Hardbar, or at least like giving you a job on the ship.
Yeah.
Just said,
We can
"Fuck
come
it,
back
I'm
to
out. Fuck it, I'm out.
that.
Fuck you, fuck you. You're
We'd already
cool.
signed away our
Fuck you, I'm
soul
out."
at
Yeah,
that role.
exactly. Felix
Just
that,
kick Felix off the ship and leave him on his own.
right?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Sorry. More important things right now. We
No
got to be
doubt.
pirates.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Well, good talk. I'll
Yeah.
see you next week or something.
All right. Sounds good.
Cool. Enjoy